I got this message this morning from one of our clients. It was his biggest day since buying the supplement brand over a year ago, and I'm gonna walk you through the entire marketing strategy that we utilize to help make this possible. First of all, if this is your first time seeing my ugly mug, my name is Devin Merklin. I helped grow a supplement brand from zero all the way up to $50 million in less than 4 years, along with a lot of other e-commerce ventures along the way, and I'm breaking down all of the marketing strategies that I currently use with clients and have used in the past to help make your life a little bit easier. I'll actually be speaking to that journey from zero all the way up to $50 million plus at an event called Smart Marketer Live in Denver, Colorado, October 28th through October 30th. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can grab tickets to that event. All right, so first things first, let's jump over to my computer here and I want to show you the actual results. This is a smaller supplement brand. They do about low to mid six figures a year. So if you're in that category, this marketing strategy is absolutely perfect for you. If you're below that threshold, still do this, you'll still get phenomenal results. And if you're above that threshold, still do it, you'll get phenomenal results. So no matter what, if you're a supplement brand or if you're in the CPG space, consumer packaged goods space, give this strategy a try. I guarantee it will work for you. So let's jump over to my computer and I'll walk you through the results. Okay, so here we are at my computer. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner, we're looking at September 15th through October 15th. Today is October 15th. So what we're looking at is that timeline over the past 30 days. And you can see it's usually averaging about 1,000 to 1.5 a day if you break down this entire timeline. And then right here is when we started our campaign, actually a few days before, but right here is when we actually launched it. And then you could see this huge spike doing over $6,000 in revenue for just that day. And if we walk this back out to the last 365 days and break this down by, let's see, let's go add here and do daily. Let's remove the month. You can see that this is the biggest day since he purchased this business back in October. Actually, around the same time last year he purchased it. I think it was on Magento and he moved it over here to Shopify. So it's the biggest day in the last 365 days by quite a bit. The last biggest day was 4,500, but I believe this was because he said he had a large B2B order going on, and this was all direct to consumer. So as you can see, this campaign really spiked up revenue. And so let's break down exactly how we were able to do this. That way you can replicate it and do it yourself. All right, first things first, we need to break down some prerequisites before you just jump into this and try and adopt the strategy. It's important to know that you'll need a couple of things in order to implement everything that I'm talking about here today. And don't worry, I'm gonna kind of mush this all together so by the end of this video, you have everything you need to just copy and paste exactly what we did. So first things first, let me grab our paper pad here. All right, so let's go over some of our prerequisites here. So the very first thing we need is a business with sales. I don't care how many sales you have, or sorry, revenue number, whether it's $1,000 a month, or it's $50,000 a month, or it's $1 million a month. Just, you need to have some sales going through the door. If this is a fresh business with zero sales, this is not going to work for you. So you need to have a CPG brand. So consumer packaged goods, it's going to be supplements, it's going to be food and drink, anything somebody can buy more than once. That would be probably prerequisite number 0, but prerequisite number 1 is actually have a business with sales. So we definitely need that. The next thing we need is an email list with at least 3K. 3K people on the email list engaged. So not, if you use Klaviyo, not like suppressed, we need 3,000 at least engaged, which brings me to the next thing we need. We need Klaviyo or something similar. But if you're on something else and you're a smaller brand, meaning you have less than, I don't know, $30,000 in monthly revenue coming through the door, switch off of whatever you're on, especially if you're on Shopify. Go to Klaviyo, make your life so much easier. It'll be a little bit of a learning curve, but trust me, just go to Klaviyo. So we definitely need to have Klaviyo in the mix. Now the next app we need is something that way we can create our landing page. So we're going to be going through what's called a kind of an early bird sign up process. And so we need to have Zipify pages in order to create our landing pages, especially if you're on Shopify. This is probably one of the better page builders on Shopify. There's other ones out there, but trust me, Zipify pages, based on the strategy, this is the one you're going to want to go with if you don't have one already. And then the next one here is going to be Zipify OCU. And no, I don't have any affiliation with, I know the owner, but I have no affiliation. I'm not going to make any money from you going and grabbing these. So Zipify OCU, what OCU stands for is one-click upsell. What a one-click upsell is, briefly, I know this isn't the topic of the video, but after somebody checks out, it's and they put their card information in, the very next step, ask them, hey, would you like this? Think of it as a grocery store. You go through, you grab your food, and you get to the checkout, and they're like, there's all the candy and magazines and lighters and all that things you can grab, and then at the checkout, you process your card, and they're like, would you like to donate? Think about it like that. That's what OCU is. And the reason we want this is because we want to set up a really generic thing, especially for CPG products that somebody can buy more of, is the best thing to upsell them is more of what they just purchased at a discount. It's kind of like a Costco effect. It's like they bought one, hey, would you like to save extra by buying more? And oftentimes they do. The last one here is a bonus and probably the most important, and it is you need to have fingers. If you don't have fingers, I don't know how you got here, but you need to stop watching this video right now and find somebody with fingers, because we're going to need to write some emails in order to do this. So this is your prerequisites. You need to have these kind of things in place for this next piece, the checklist, to actually make sense. All right, the very next thing that we need to do is go through a checklist. This is all the things that you're going to need to create in order to pull this off. And we probably should name this strategy. I think I'm going to name it the Rally 4x5. There's kind of 9 emails in place. They're broken down by 4 in the beginning, 5 at the end, and all of this kind of stuff. And I like cars and specifically rally sports, so let's call it the Rally 4x5 so it makes sense. But here would be our checklist. So we're going to run down this checklist here and go over the core things that we're going to be needing to build in order to pull off this Rally 4x5. All right, I'm going to go down this list the best I can in the order that you should do these things. I might touch on a few other things here and there because I tend to get technical because I've been in the weeds for a very, very long time. So the very first thing that we need to create is called an EB list or an early bird list. And one thing that I want to point out here in Klaviyo, when you have a default list that you just created, in the settings under consent, it's defaulted to double opt-in. Turn that off. We don't need that. Now, if you got some list issues or some deliverability issues, that makes sense, but we're going to be marketing to our current list, and so we just want them to put their email in again, not have to do a double opt-in, change it to single. That way they just end up on the list. I know you're probably thinking, well, why would I just advertise to why am I sending emails to my current list to get back on my list? It's a micro commitment. So essentially what we want to do is send them to an early bird landing page. That way they can get on a list and make a micro commitment that they're going to show up for the sale. So I'll talk more about the strategy in just a moment, but very first thing that we need to create is an early bird list, turn double opt-in off, keep single opt-in on so they don't have to go through multiple steps to get back on that list. All right, the next thing that we want to do is we want to create an embed form in Klaviyo. So when we create this form, the only 2 things that we need are the email input box and a button to submit. That's it. We just want that, and we want to make sure it's shown to all visitors, and we want to make sure that it's just that simple. But the button is connected to this list. So when they put in their email in that input box and they hit submit, they're going to go to this list. We want to create this list first. That way we can hit this setting when we go to create our embed form. All right, the next thing that we're going to want to do, now that we have our list, we have our embed form, we're going to want to create our registration page. And don't worry, I'm going to walk through all this. So this is where Zipify pages is going to come in handy. I got to focus and make sure I spell right here, our registration page. So we want to make sure that we have Zipify pages because they have a lot of templates on there that we can utilize for a registration page. and simply add in our input box and our button that embed form that we created in Klaviyo, and we can just drop it in that template and just change some images and text and all that kind of stuff and make it really simple on ourselves. So that's the very next thing that we need to create, and don't worry, I'm going to walk through all of this as we go. So registration page, make sure we make that with Zipify Pages. The piece after that is the confirmation page. Why do we want a confirmation page? Well, you don't really need one, but if you have some extra information that you need to pass to the consumer to get them prepped for this strategy, the sale that we're about to do, you want to drop that on the confirmation page. So as soon as somebody registers, then they're going to land on this confirmation page where you might have some more information to give to the actual consumer about the event that you're about to put on. So after you've created that confirmation page, go ahead and grab that URL, go back to your embed form, and drop it in after the submit button. So when they submit, they're going to this list, and then the very next step after they submit, they're going to this confirmation page, right? So think about it this way. We're sending our email list here to the registration page. Then they're submitting that embed form. That embed form submits their email to the early bird list, and then it redirects them to the confirmation page. All right, the next thing that we're going to create are 9 emails. And let me leave some room here. So we want 9 emails for this entire campaign, this entire strategy. We want 4 of them going to early bird, so driving people to this registration page. Don't worry, I'll tell you more, just understand the checklist. And then 5 that go towards the sale. And this is, I'll break down where all of these go, but just I understand this checklist, and then throughout the remainder of this video, it all makes sense. So we're going to create 9 emails in total, 4 that are driving to early bird, 5 that are actually devoted to the sale. All right, the next 2 things that we need to create are a discount code. Obviously, since this is sale related, we're going to be running a sale. We want to create a discount code on Shopify for the timeline of the sale. And then we want a collection page. This is where we're going to send everybody from these 5 emails. So these 5 emails that are devoted specifically to the sale, we're going to have that discount code inside, and we're going to send them to this collection page. Now, there's one more bonus feature here, and this isn't a joke. This is if you have it, this is where I would do it. If you're releasing new products or a new product, this is where I'd add this. Is doing this kind of event is perfect for a new product release, because what we're going to do is be building a lot of hype throughout these 4 emails here. And then when we go to launch the sale, having a new product adds fuel to the fire, because they're going to be more inclined to test out that new product. So this is what we ended up doing, which added some extra juice to everything. So if you have new products, go ahead and feature them in this entire thing. But let's put this checklist together into what this entire strategy looked like. All right, so let's jump into this and break this down, kind of how this was all set up from a strategy perspective. So let's zoom in a little bit on this first portion here. What we're going to be looking at is days 1 through 4. So days 1 through 4 can take place Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. This is probably the best time to do this because you're hitting them for that first half of the week. Now, what we're ultimately trying to do out of this first period here, this EB registration, early bird registration, is just get a micro commitment from people on our list. We're not going to do like a separate early bird day, if you see me talk about that in the past. Instead, we're just trying to get a micro commitment out of our list, out of a subset of people. So we just want to take them through a process that makes them do that micro commitment. So on days 1 through 4, we're going to send these 4 emails, 1 email per day, preferably first thing in the morning. If you're used to sending at whatever time, send during those times. So all we're doing in these emails is we're saying, hey, if you have you're releasing new products during this time, even better. But we're just using our assets. But we're just saying, hey, we're doing a big sale. Ours was Fall in Love with Your Health sale, but we're doing, because it's fall time, but we're doing a big sale. We don't talk about the discount at all, but we're doing a big sale. Go here to register. We'll let you know as soon as it's live. You want to be you want to get early access, or you want to be the first to be notified for this because we're releasing these new products, and we listed out the new products to help build that hype and everything. So they end up going to this page, registering, they land on the thank you page, and on the registration page and the thank you page, we have some more details on those new products that we're releasing, as well as like details about the actual sale itself. So on these pages, they're very simple. It's headline, subheadline, image, embed form that we talked about building in Klaviyo, and then below the fold we have all that extra information. And then same with the thank you page, it's just confirmation, hey, you're registered to be the first to be notified, and then that same information down below. So it's that simple, but day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, it's all following that theme. If you have different products, new products that you're releasing, you could highlight a different product for each day, kind of like what we did here. But if you're just doing a general sale, it's okay to be repetitive. Oftentimes people won't open the very first email or the second or the third or even the fourth. So you want to be hitting them with repetitive information, just letting them know, hey, go register, be the first to find out. Use scarcity, use urgency. If you have a limited supply, make sure you call that out. Notify like, hey, the sale's only going to last this long. But during this time period, we're just driving people to this registration page, landing them on the thank you page, and just getting them to essentially just raise their hand, give me a micro commitment that you're going to show up to the sale. And then oftentimes people won't do this. They won't take the time to do this as humans because we're lazy essentially, but they'll see this information going out that they're doing a sale, and they might not take this micro commitment, but at least you're calling it out beforehand, so it's in their subconscious by the time that you send your sale email. So emails 5 through 9 correspond with days 5 through 8. Don't get confused with that. So it's a 4-day lead up and a 4-day sale, but there's 5 emails within those 4 days. So during these sale emails, it's very simple. We're just sending them to a collection page specifically for that sale. Now, it's important that you have a catalog with more than one product essentially, but we want to drive them to this collection page. That way they can use that discount code that you're including, whether it's 10%, 15% off. I suggest doing something like 10% off for normal sales like this, and doing 15% off during like 2 times, like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and maybe another date throughout the year. But sending them to this collection page, that way they can start shopping. And then in these emails, if you have new products that you're releasing, call those out. Say like, hey, we just released this new product. You can go grab it here. Just send them to this collection page. All roads need to lead to Rome. Don't have any extra links in these emails. For example, if you're talking about the sale and then you're doing a product call out, don't send them to that product page. Just do that product call out and send them to the collection page and let them see that product on the collection page. You don't want to divert your traffic too much. Send everybody to one customized collection page. And this collection page doesn't need to be anything spectacular. It's really just your products, maybe a banner if you want to add something nice there, and just having maybe a timer to let them know like, hey, the sale is ending. So during day 5, 6, 7, that's where we're sending people all to that collection page. The only differentiator of day 8 is that we have 2 emails going out, emails 8 and email 9. So remember up here where I said just send these during your normal morning times? Do the same thing here. Morning, 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 and then send this one very late at night. That's for procrastinators essentially. Because oftentimes what you'll see, depending on your audience, most audiences are procrastinators rather than early adopters, is that you'll send these early emails, you'll get sales, but your biggest day is going to be on your last day, and it's going to be from this email right here. So if you send all these in the morning, say you send this one at like 7 a.m., you're going to want to send this one at like 7 p.m. And then you'll watch this email is going to gather a huge influx of sales because you're going to have a lot of procrastinators. Now, past that point for the collection, I mentioned in our checklist, we're going to need Zipify OCU, one-click upsell. Past that point, what we want to do is create very simple upsells for maybe, depending on how many products you have, but our top 3, top 5 products that upsells them in this fashion. So I'm going to speak specifically to supplements or any kind of consumable product. Is the very first upsell should be more of what they just purchased. So if it's a hierarchy, so if your number 1 product on this collection page is like, let's say vitamin D, for example, you want that to be at the very top of the list. They have 1 in their cart, they go to this upsell. You want to upsell them 3 more of what they just purchased at a bigger discount that they're getting the first one. So if you're doing 10% off here for your sale, then you want to do maybe 15 or 20 or 25% off of 3 here. Now, if they say no to this, take them to a downsell. And this is all laid out in Zipify one-click upsell. I don't need to explain how the software works. You can jump in there and give it a test drive. It's pretty intuitive. But downsell, just downsell them to 1 more at the same discount. So if you offered them 3 here, go down to 1 at the same discount that you're offering here. Now, if they ended up saying yes to this, take them to upsell 2. You want this to be a cross-sell, something that's really complementary for what they're purchasing. For example, if they got vitamin D and they see the upsell of 3 and they grab 3 more vitamin D, so they have 4 vitamin D, what's the very next thing that I want to offer them? Well, it might be something else around immune health, so it might be vitamin C. So I'm going to offer them 1 pack of vitamin C at a bigger discount than what they're seeing here. So if this is 10%, I just want to go to 15% here. And then you land them on the thank you page. So all of this in unison working together, you got micro commitment, you got people joining a list and loading up. And even though they're joining a list, doesn't mean we're going to email them differently. We're just getting a micro commitment out of them. And then we're emailing into our entire engaged list here, even those people that registered, right? So we're not doing a separate early bird day for these registrants. It's just a micro commitment. We're going to email everybody, email number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, while excluding along the way if somebody's purchased, obviously. If somebody purchased on this first email, we don't want to include them here. So all this leading up primes your audience, gets them to make a micro commitment. And then here it's a 4-day normal sale, just driving them to kind of a catered collection page with an upsell process to help maximize the average order value. Now, this helped increase, I think, the average order value for that brand by, I think, $20. On average is about $80, and I think for this sale is about $100. I have to look back at that testimonial they sent over. I don't have it in front of me, but it helped increase that average order value because we had these upsells in place. If you don't have these, then you're kind of leaving some money on the table. Some people want to buy more from you, but oftentimes we get distracted and we just go to the checkout and we don't know that we want to grab these extra things. So do this, do the 4-day lead up here, do these 4 emails, and definitely add this email here for those procrastinators. Make sure that you have a solid upsell process for your top 3 or 5 products, depending on how many products you have, or even all of them, honestly, if you have the time to do it. It'll just make it that much better. So this is the entire strategy, utilizing that checklist that we went over. This is how to bring it to life. All right, and that's it. That's the Rally 4x5. That's the random name that I just came up with. If you want to grab the template that I went over here on my computer, I'll leave a link down below so you can download it. That way you can look at it. It helps when I have visuals in front of me and I can start putting stuff together. If you want to know anything else about these kind of strategies and these sales and these events, please leave a comment in on the video here. That way I can go deeper, answer any questions you might have, and let me know what you want to see moving forward. When it comes to these strategies, do you want me to go further in depth on the emails? Do you want to see what the pages look like? I'm relying on you to tell me that so I don't just create random content that you're not interested in. So let me know in the comments down below what you're actually looking for, what you need, and I'll go create it for you. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Go implement this thing and let me know the results that you get.